The Last Barbarians, issue number 1, a new release from Image Comics and Shadowline Production. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking, that the Barbarian story has been told a lot recently, you're probably right. I feel like every independent company is releasing their Barbarian adjacent, Conan-esque character. I guess the current crop of writers is just like, Conan's awesome, Red Sonja's awesome, let's make characters like that. So it's a fantasy world, folks. Let's dive into a fantasy world. Yeah, it's okay. I'll be honest, this book didn't, grab me as much as I was hoping it would. I kind of just wanted to find a new fantasy adventure to thrall into. It does have some beats I really like. It has some beats I don't like. And it's kind of interesting, so we'll get into it. First off, the style of art in this book has a very cel-shaded Telltale game style aesthetic, where every character kind of looks like they'd move around kind of stiffly and everything, with certain gloss over them. It's okay. Again, I think it's an acquired taste, and in some spots it looks really good. In others, it almost doesn't even look like art. It does look like computer-generated graphics, which is kind of interesting. So, we're getting narration from this woman whose name is Silver. She goes by Sylv, and her brother just took a thing from a castle. They break out in the barracks a little ways away. The brother is like a 7-foot simpleton, and she's kind of like, well, he's a nice guy, but he's simple, and I gotta take care of him. They're also working with this weird anamorphic hedgehog guy called Hedgie, and it's a really bad heist that kind of went wrong, and everything's kind of bad. They're in the dirt and the gruff, and she's kind of upset about it. Sylv's not a bad lead. I just don't know if I think she's fun. Does that make sense? Where I'm like, oh yeah, this is the character I'm enjoying our adventure about. She's fine. So it turns out they're actually working for an not even assassin's guild. It's just a thievery guild. They're trying to sell a weird statue they stole, but because they cracked it in the process, the buyer doesn't want it. He's like, I'm not paying you a coin for this crap. You broke it. She's like, fine. Fine, you don't want it? Boom, I smash it on the ground, now you don't get it. And he's like, you're such a reckless lunatic. You're so bad. I'm filing a grievance with the guild. You'll never work in this town again, lady. So she's out of the guild. Uh-oh, that sucks. So she takes some time just to clear her head. You know, a lady that's always down on her luck is this Sylv. She's just going to go away for a minute to a weird mountain that's a skeleton head, Snake Mountain kind of vibes. She's like, I need to clear my head. Everything sucked. She's just sitting there figuring her stuff out. She is chased down by a giant, and she's like, well, giants are kind of easy to deal with because they don't have paternal figures. If you just kind of scold them for a minute and give I'm a disappointed in you face, they'll pretty much stop. And she does that. And that's kind of a fun scene, just showing there's mythical creatures in this world. She knows how to handle herself. It's not very barbaric though, is it? Okay, she's not hacking and slashing or fighting anybody. Okay, Last Barbarians, we're building to that, right? We're building to the barbarian stuff. Well, Sylv needs to find a new guild to be a part of. Trade Guild doesn't want her. The Mages Guild doesn't want her. The Mercenary Guild doesn't want her. Healers Guild doesn't want her. And there was another one. Oh, a brothel. Nope, she's not there yet. So no brothels for her. But her brother's like, maybe we should go do the brothel stuff. That could be kind of fun. But they're just down on their luck. And she has a friend, Maisie, who kind of works at a tavern. Who's trying to hey, you could always work around here, clean up a bit, and get some stuff done. It's honest work. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That sucks. And then you just see hey, her brother's always the optimistic guy saying we'll land on our feet and stuff. It's look, a flock of whales, and a flock of whales flies in the sky. You're okay, that's kind of fun. I do like that energy a little bit. I do think the relationship between Sylv and her brother is kind of fun. There's stuff about it that I'm yeah, this is kind of predictable, and I don't think it's that new. They say he's 7 foot, but when you see bigger panels of them next to each other, it's hard to really get that. I guess she'd have to be 6 feet, or just about 6 feet. Hard to say. It does look different in some panels than the other ones, but it's fine. It's a hot family. That's kind of cool. So, the place they're staying at, they get accosted by, the tenant. He's like, look, if you don't pay rent, you're not staying in my barn anymore. Uh-oh, they're gonna be losing stuff. She has a bad dream that night about, when her village burned down, and, some weird mysterious figure that's I've been looking for you, and she wakes up afraid. And then, yeah, she's just kind of, down on her luck. Series of bad events happens where Sylv asks Hedgie for money. Hedgie's like, I'm going back to the family. I don't got anything for you. See you in another life. Then this handsome knight named Dracos walks in. She's like, I think he is so hot. I have such a huge crush on him. But oh, he's only interested in other girls. That sucks. And she's out of beer. And she can't afford to pay the next tab. Luckily, there's a stranger sitting at the bar named Falk who's like, hey, I'll get the next round if you want to help me with something. I know you're looking for work. It could be something you want, but her friend Maisie's like, don't work for Falk. He's like a bad guy, and he goes to some shady shit. Don't work for him. Like, I need the money. I have nothing left. I guess that's what I'm going to do. They are kicked out of their house. We also see that there's a cow or an ox in the barn they're staying at, and it's got 4 eyes and really big horns. Okay, that's kind of fun. I like that. Some cool energy. I can dig that vibe. Kind of cool to see. But they're kicked out of their house. They'll have to go work for Falk to figure out what's going on. But he only wants to pay for one person when there's 2 of them because he hired a warrior already named Miss Anka, and she's from the Lost Lands. And that's, I guess, a more barbarian vibe. She's a cool, ethnic character from a mysterious seas and all that stuff. It's okay, she looks fun. That's cool. But Falk's like, well, I will let you come on this mission if you guys are willing to do it for the price of one person. And he's like, cool, you don't even have to pay rent at your old place. You can come board my ship with me, and everything's going to be okay. We set off soon, baby. The quest is about to begin. So we got Falk, Miss Anka, Sylv, and her brother. What was her brother's name? They said at the beginning, let's see if I can find it here. It was just a word. Right? He had a name like Shadow or something. Yeah, his name is Shadow. Okay, Silver and Shadow, that's kind of fun. Pretty close to Shadow and Bone, but okay. I don't really care. It's cool. We also see that as they're headed off towards the ship, there's a weird spider, rabbit, moose. I can't describe what it is, but it's a spider, rabbit, moose that's crawling through the skies, and it jumps onto the hand of these 2 clearly barbarian women. Oh, the game is afoot, my dear friend. Cool, so you have the red-haired Sonia one, and you have the blonde one. Cool. It looks like they're going to be doing something with these other people. And I'm like, that's kind of fun. So there is cool stuff in this book. The aesthetic is interesting at times. The actual, mythology is compelling enough. I didn't get, a huge barbarian vibe, and I was kind of okay, we get it. Sylv's not, doing great. She knows how to hold her own, but she can't hold a job. So I'm like, that's kind of fun. Okay, it's whatever. I do like the energy this book is presenting, and I just kind of was looking for a fantasy world to escape into, so it's kind of cool that this might be it, but there's things in here that are cool, things that aren't that cool. It's a good mix. It's a good mix. And I guess if you're looking for a new flavor of something that's kind of Vox Machina meets Red Sonja meets just a fun story, this could be it. This could be that book you're looking for. So, The Last Barbarians issue number 1, I am going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.